Hi everybody, Hassan Shariq, regulated Canadian immigration consultant, back with another video on Canadian immigration. In today's video, we are going to continue talking about the Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program. The specific stream that we've been talking about is the International Skilled Worker stream. And this particular video, we are going to talk about the licensing requirement that is there for various professions if you would want to apply for this stream of Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program. So stay tuned for further details. Welcome back. So, a lot of professions in Canada are regulated or they require a license. What this basically means is that to practice in that particular profession, you are required to have a license, a professional certification, or membership with the specific regulating body. Now, in Canada, most of these professional licenses or regulations are provincial based. So, all the different provinces and territories that Canada has, each province has its own licensing body. Um, in terms of PNPs, various PNPs, the requirements vary. And for Saskatchewan, the requirement is that if you would want to apply for the SINP, the Occupation in Demand, or the Express Entry category, you must show proof of your eligibility for licensing at the stage of your application. So, first and foremost, at what stage do you require this? Once you create your expression of interest, you're not required to provide this requirement at that stage. But once you are at the stage where you've been invited by the province and you have to submit your application for SINP nomination, at that stage you have to provide evidence that if your profession falls within the list where they require a licensing or a professional membership or such a regulatory requirement is there, you have to provide evidence that either you have been able to obtain it or you will be able to obtain it. Now, the process differs between profession to profession, so we'll have a quick look. Now, first of all, um, there's a long list of professions which are regulated or licensed in the province of Saskatchewan, and SIMP has that requirement. The number of these professions is close to about 60, between 60 to 65, and I have been having a lot of queries about it. Because the list is long, so I will not be able to share the whole list, and because it's a PDF file, so I cannot really share it on these social media platforms as such. I can provide the link. Also, if you're interested in knowing if your profession is one of the professions which requires a licensing in Saskatchewan and for SINP, in the comment section, just mention your NOC code, and we will get back to you and we will inform if you require licensing or not. Now, in terms of the professions itself, as I mentioned, it's about 60 different professions, 60 odd professions, and they're divided into three major categories. So the first category is engineering occupations, which in many parts of the world do require a licensing, and the same is the case for the province of Saskatchewan. The second broad category is trade occupations. So occupations like industrial electricians, plumbers, bricklayers, such professions. And then there is a third category where miscellaneous different professions are part of that. For each of these professions, the requirement is different. And the three big groupings that I mentioned, engineering professions, trade professions, and other professions, they have their own requirement. Now, the requirement to have the professional licensing is dependent on the professional body itself. So just for example, if you have one of the engineering professions, at this stage of your application, SINP application, you have to provide a letter from the Association of Professional Engineers, um, showing that your application for registration as an engineer in training has been approved, or a letter from the same body, Association of Professional Engineers in Saskatchewan, indicating that you have been assigned confirmatory exams. So, these regulatory requirements will differ based on the professional body that is there. We also have some of the professions, such as software engineers. This is a common profession for which a lot of applicants are applying to 173. And there is a requirement. The requirement for this is different to how it is for engineers. So just giving you an example, 2173. So if you have 2173 or 2174 or 2175, these are IT knocks, you have to provide documentation from the Canadian Association of Information Technology Professionals, CIPC, showing your candidate membership or certified membership, or candidate membership or certified memberships. Now they have their own processes in terms of how you can apply as a candidate member or a certified member. And for this, you have to contact the relevant body. But the important thing is that if you get an invitation from the province of Saskatchewan and you cannot provide evidence of your licensing or regulatory membership, or your eligibility for that at that stage, your application can be rejected, and most likely it will be rejected. So for those who are interested in applying for skilled migration under the SINP, International Skilled Worker Stream, OID or EE, when you are submitting your application, an important thing for you to do is research if your profession requires a license. If it does, see which is the regulatory body which will provide that licensing, and contact them for the process of licensing, so that if you are in that high scoring zone, 70 and above, and there is a likelihood of your invitation coming soon, then you do not really want to miss out on this opportunity, because of the fact that once you have to submit your application, you're not able to provide your the required licensing evidence. So this is an important aspect, and with different professions, there are certain education requirements as well. So they vary as well. It will be very difficult for me to provide details on all of them. As I mentioned, depending on the feedback that I'll get for this particular video, if there are specific professions for which there is a lot of queries, I will try and explain the process for that in specific. If you just want to know about your profession, if it requires a licensing, if it is a regulated profession, do mention your knock code in the comment section, and we'll be happy to guide you on that. So this is all from my side for today, with specific focus on SINP, International Skilled Worker Stream, and the requirement for professional licensing for your professions for this particular stream. Hopefully I've been able to answer some questions, because there have been a lot of queries about this licensing thing. If you still have queries regarding this or anything else, feel free to drop your question through the comment section below. A request: do subscribe to the channel, do support the channel by liking the video and sharing it with others. That's all. Take very good care of yourself and your families. I'll be back soon with another video on Canadian immigration. Till that time, bye bye and Allah Hafiz.